Now, there are times in my life where you have a day that lives in infamy. And this Saturday was one of those days. We started off, we wanted to go down to the Oily Pipes two-stroke get-together. So as my thought was, well, I'll ride the RD down and we'll have a great time. And I was going to meet Joe and one other fella along the way, a guy I've never met yet. So I got the bike gassed up and got all excited about going down there and maybe finding some RD parts or something I couldn't live without. Set the clock, here we are, 7:24 in the morning. Little did I know it was like, the way this day unfolded, it was like the Titanic leaving Ireland or Scotland, or wherever the hell it was made. Anyway, as I look back now, it really wasn't that funny. The reason was the bike seized up on the way down there, and that'll be the topic of another video. But the good news is I did get to visit Joe and his daughter, and this is his daughter here, and they got to visit me. And his daughter Isabel here checking out my train layout, and I, as all young kids do, and including young kids like me, always enjoy running the trains. And you can see she looks like she's having quite a time, and we enjoyed her company. And she got to do something that not every young girl gets to do, run Wendy's 90-foot train layout here. Yeah, it was fun. But anyway, our goal was this night we were going to go down to cruise night. Maybe have a bite to eat, check out some of the older cars. And I have to report my good friend John Pothier is now totally recovered and back to, I guess, putting the final touches on his vet restoration, 62 vet. Joe and Isabel, this is their first cruise night. Now this is, I'm sure, not their last, but as we walk around the cars and check them all out, always enjoy this. I've seen this guy down there before, and John, these old vets, they never go out of style. That's one thing for sure. And they are like, actually, they're like the RDs of motorcycles. They're the things that just live in infamy. Or I guess like the Titanic that lives in infamy, I don't know. I'm not sure. There are a couple bikes, you know, the usual, the three-wheel Harleys, and I think there was one Spider. Some of the bikes, the sport bikes that are usually blinged out. This one's got chrome wheels and New York Yankees written on the windshield. I guess he's a Yankee fan. I always look at the paintwork, no matter what the bike, doesn't matter, even choppers, even customized cars, gotta love the paintwork. And we even convinced Paul. Paul was down there with a bunch of his friends who were going to the drags the next day to let us sit in their drag car. See, what you should have done, Isabel, is turn the key, hold your foot to the floor, and drop it in gear. Yeah, that's how you do it. Run old Paul over. He's old. He'll never catch you. A 53, which we'd seen before. Really nice restoration job. And I always look at the quality of the buffing, the quality of the paint. I guess that's one of the things one of the reasons I like to go down there. Now, usually what I do is, and this one's got an Electrolux engine. I'm not sure what that is. Now, up until this night, Karen and I usually go, and we just walk the gauntlet. We walk the perp walk and check out, look at the engine. Look at the air cleaners on this twin H power Hudson Hornet. Some beautiful vets, and of course my favorite, the 66 Chevy 2. He's there almost every weekend. Makes me eat my heart out. There were a couple of L79 packages there that really were beautiful. Always got the guys coming through on the sport bikes wearing their underwear, fully protective underwear. A beautiful 55 that was for sale. Another nice interior. Another older Chevy too. This looks like a 63 or 4. I love the Chevy 2s because they were sneaky. You'd look at them and you have no idea until you start the engine that they even had a V8 in them. 68. There was a Yenko down there, but I don't think I got pictures of them. And one of my, now I don't know why, I always thought this was a cool car. When I was, the back window goes down. The dashboard, look at the dashboard on this thing. So you never can tell what's appealing about an old car or why you like it. Anyways, usually there's a lot of dogs, and the people kind of keep it as a car show, dog show thing. Isabel was really impressed. This dog had bows in his ears, or her ears. Not sure what the dog show part of this is like. This was, Joe and I agreed, this was one of the nicest ones down there that night. This really was a very, very cool restoration. Obviously highly reworked engine, and the biggest nitrous bottles I've ever seen. They look like 5-gallon jugs in the back. I always like to look at some of the motors. Just brings back a lot of memories. There's a lot of memories involved in this stuff. 6 Deuces, he's been there before. Alfa Romeo. And all of the Camaros, the older ones, the newer ones. And what we decided to do, this guy was, you see there were 2 of these that night. The guy was riding around on one. I should have taken a video of him. He looked, oh, there right there, I got a picture of him, not a video, but looks just, I don't know. I'll save that comment for later. And some of the more modern vets. The paintwork on this was one of the cars you walk by, and even if you don't like it, you can really appreciate the amount of work that goes into the buffing. I had a 68 Chevy too. I'm not sure if this is a 68 or a 69. I always try to get as much as I can on any nice looking Cobras for my friend Buddy Weeder, who I hope is doing as well as he can in the world of model planes, but he built his own Cobra. And I have actually gotten a ride in it over the years. Not sure what this car was. The doors rolled up into the fenders though. Let me go back to that for a second. The doors don't swing out. They roll up like pocket doors. Not sure what it was. I didn't really get a chance to look at it that much. But he's been there before, so I don't... He has a real L79. I recognize the air cleaner right away. He's even got the right decals on it. Oh, I remember this like it was yesterday. The only problem is, it's not mine. If this was in my garage, here's what I keep telling John Pothia. This is what I want to have when I retire from motorcycling. And I'm not going to go to the drags with it. I promise I won't seize it up and put a hole in the piston. I just want to have it. And with the Hurst floor shifter and everything, oh man, is that ever good memories. And there's always some unusual stuff. Now, what we decided to do, since Joe and his daughter hadn't eaten yet, and the Whiskey Cafe, if you look out here where the window is, we got window seats. And there was a band getting ready to play. And so this really worked out outstanding. Now I know sometimes it's really so hot outside. This is from a window seat inside the Whiskey Cafe. And you get to watch the action, all the cars going by and doing their thing out there. And this was one, I looked at this, I tried to get a picture. It's got some kind of customized fins or something going on there. You never know. Cruise night, always a lot of fun. On the way out, we took a close look at this bike with the dragon painted on. So as I look at this now, one of the things in my life, I've never driven one of these guys, and I have no intention of doing it because I don't want to scratch anybody. I know these things are a fortune, but when the guys come in and leave, I look at how they always look a little wobbly going slow. I don't know. Maybe it's just the guys. But then the high point of the evening, we took Joe down to the main road in Rutherford. There's a little yogurt shop. We sat outside and watched the cars and bikes go by. And this was, now Isabel, sweetheart, you set the world's record for making me jealous of eating all that yogurt. Anyway, got up the next morning. We had planned a ride with Chris, who we haven't seen in a long time, and with Joe and Luciano, and we all met up early in the morning, 9 o'clock. Luciano had some things to do during the day, but here it is. It's not even 8 o'clock yet, and I'm going out to the boonies to get a couple laps around 106. Make sure my head scoops are scooping. My ice cream scoop is scooping. Everything's scooping. And again, we hadn't ridden with Chris since the good old days of the New York Sport Bike Club. In a couple of years we enjoyed being on a lot of the rides with them. And Chris, of course, was one of the people I enjoyed riding with over the years. And here she says, okay, show this to Karen. Okay, Karen, here it is, right here. Well, anyway, but it's always nice to know that there are some ladies interested in motorcycling. And boy, it makes the fun of riding, to me, just a little bit better. And here you have the two toughest guys. Little did we know that when we started out Saturday morning, Joe and I had actually never been to each other's houses. I'd never met his daughter. He'd never met my wife. And he'd never seen an RD seize up. I'd never seen the Titanic sink. I'd never seen Luciano eat 2 pizza pies. It was a great weekend. And it will live in infamy.